Hey guys, welcome to my channel again. And today, in this video, I'm going to show you how you guys can implement um, segmentation in TensorFlow. Previously, guys, I have already uploaded so many video of brain tumor segmentation. Today, I'm going to take this, the previous session, moving forward by showing you an implementation of improved version of UNet in two-dimensional images. Guys, before moving forward, let me show you the type of data I'm using here. This time, I have taken the hippocampus data. Hippocampus is a part of brain which actually is responsible for all your memories if that portion being damaged, which actually happens in case of Alzheimer patient. Those people won't be able to memorize anything, forget about the past memory, and also not able to create recreate the new memories. This is my brain images, as you can see here. And uh, in and th these are the masks which is being mapped on input images, and UNet will be able to train corresponding to these masks, that whenever it encounter in future a certain type of 2D brain images, it will automatically segment the portion of hippocampus. So let's move forward about the main program. So first, initially we import the basic libraries. This implementation I'm doing in Keras TensorFlow on the code side. So we need as let me show you the model, then I'll explain you. Basically, in this model, that's how we define the input image. Every UNet model is basically defined in layman words, that is a encoder decoder system. So first we need to encode the image in n dimensional uh, breakdown, and thereafter we start upsampling from those breakdowns and create an output map of mask. So it's really simple process. Let me explain you the basic how the model work. It start with first convolutional two-dimensional filter. Number of filters I'm using here 64. Activation is ReLU. Padding is same, means the input and output will be the same. Thereafter, first convolution layer, second convolution. Max pooling is used for selecting import the most useful image pixels from the input of convolutional layer and pass to the pool 1. Pool 1 is further processed to the second layer of convolution containing 128 filters, performing the max pooling. Next we move toward the third convolutional layer, and dropout is to avoid the overfitting of the model. Moving toward the max pooling, selecting the most useful pixels features from the input of convolutional third convolutional block. We keeps moving until unless the final blocks we reach where the convolutional fourth block having the filter size 512. And here, when we perform this operation, we will be having, total trainable features around 2 million in downsampling the images. Thereafter, upsampling start. In our case, we use the way we downsample the image. The similar method we apply for upsampling convolutional 2D transpose. 256 number of filter, that mean input kernel corresponding to 512 number of input, upsample those 512 filters into 256 number of filter. Kernel size 2 and stride 2 means whatever the input we are feeding into the convolutional transpose, it upsample those input and decrease the number of trainable parameter. Batch normalization means it basically normalize corresponding to input batch size. It works when we have larger batch size, and will not work if we are using batch size 1. Similar up for doing the upsampling, we use ReLU activation here. Reshape is basically further concatenation is used for the concatenations of all useful features we will be getting after downsampling and upsampling of the image. After this concatenations we apply, this is the latest method available in Keras convolutional LSTM 2D. It is same as LSTM, only instead of the dot product it multiply the input with the convolutional, time dimensional multiplications, and making more useful features as an put most dragging most useful features as an output of it. The similar type of 4 upsample block we applied here, and we reach up to merge 8. Finally, in our case we have an output mask of 2 dimensional, so final upsample is convolutional line, where we after making all up sample we need an output of a single one image. So we put here 1, and activation sigmoid. Basically in GAN, sigmoid activation work more significantly as compared to other activation function. Adam, for optimizer we use Adam optimizer. The loss type we have used here binary cross entropy loss, and the metric is accuracy. And finally model is being complied, and after when we call this function we get return a compiled version of model which can be trained and for any type of medical data for the segmentation purpose. Let me show you the execution, guys, in a very quick manner, and thereafter I'll move toward the validation part. So here I'm loading all train images from hippocampus data. Input images, X is being put in train images, and mask is being put on mask train mask folder. When mask and images is being loaded, I need to normalize those images and fed into the array X and Y. Y is a uh, target data type, and X is our input. For normalization we just dividing the input array by 255, so that all images will convert it into discrete values. After running this block, let's run. For training and validation data, I am using a split here. Actually right now I am using a very small number of data sample for this video, so I'm splitting the data with 0.1% of validation data type. After running, you can see here and sample image of input and the mask. Okay, mask is being mapped on this input image so that you can identify where hippocampus gland is being located. Let's move toward the training part. This model will take couple of minutes to train. I'm pausing this video. Once my training will get complete, my model will be saved by the name of Ruchi mod unit h5. I will load this model for the evaluation purpose and show you the final outcomes. So I'm pausing here because I'm going to train this model for 50 epoch. After 50 epoch, the type of output I'll be getting, I'll show you in when I return back. So guys, my training is completed. As you can see here, loss is from first epoch to till the epoch of 38. It keeps on improving. This is our optimum loss values we achieved, the learning curve, and the best model is being saved automatically at this point. So now let's see how the validations will be performed. Okay, so for validations, basically I created a separate script which load the model and show you the output of corresponding to input streams. Oh my god, my kernel is dead. using TensorFlow backend. My kernel is crashing every time. I'm facing some error of CUDA. And if such thing happens with you guys, all you need to do at few lines, because for validation you don't need CUDA to be processed. So you need to mention bus ID as -1. In that case, it avoid the CUDA and brings all the process to the CPU. Let's see how it works. As you guys, now you can see here, my process. I transfer all the process to the CPU, and these are my some of the output I have obtained. All the predicted image is already saved in image mask folder, and so these are the predicted mask corresponding to these images. Let me show you. 60.8. So let me drag the input test image. 60.8 from train mask, 60.8, 60.8, and this is this one. So let me show you. This was actually the original mask, and this was the predicted one. So as you guys can see here, both the output are very close to each other and exactly located on the same portion. So I hope you guys understand how UNet is work. If you guys need a similar type of, you have similar type of problems, guys need anything, you can. I have given my contact number on the title section of the video. These out the link of data set. I You can get the data set from Kaggle. I'll provide you the link of data set, and if you guys looking for getting this code, you can contact me directly. Thanks guys, thanks for watching this video.